16-6 and 16-6. They win each other's picks as Grayhound never back down and they never give up. They managed to take Mirage against the ViCi Gaming that still were able to frag but not close out the rounds this time.
Yeah, it was definitely not what we expected once again. Dare I say it? I think it should have been closer. I think ViCi Gaming had the chances to make this one closer, but once again, you got to give it up for Grayhound. They were playing one hell of a game again, sort of like rewording what we saw on the first map, which was the other way around. For ViCi Gaming, I mean, there was some cool instances of team play. There was some showings, you know, one which you're going to show us in a second. But overall, Grayhound were the ones that were winning the pivotal rounds. They were winning all the reset rounds, and they were winning the clutch situations. So basically, everything we saw from ViCi Gaming on the first map is what Grayhound copied for the second map and sort of like turned it around against them. So in that regard, kudos to Grayhound. And now we get in on the third map. It's going to be Dust2. And both teams have shown so far that they can play Counter-Strike on a high level today. So there's no need to say that this is not going to be an interesting one.
Well, Dust2 is going to be interesting, but Blair, you've got another clip for us, so let's walk through this.
I have a clip indeed. The cool thing about ViCi is, despite the fact they lost that game, they had a couple of really cool rounds, especially this one. This is round number 3. Check this one out, right? They know it's a buy round. You can see the Molotov coming in towards slope. They smoke it out immediately, just run out dry. 2 guys, smoke pops. The timing is perfect. The second the player reaches sandwich, the smokes pop over there. Molotov to prevent anyone from pushing towards bench, Molotov towards CD spawn. This is so fast. They get the bomb down. Minute and 35 seconds on the clock. Bomb down. Now look at the minimap and look at how the players rotate. 3 players make their way towards CD spawn. And towards T spawn. I thought it'd actually be like all 3 going in, but no, Advent remains behind. Armin Freeman in the long journey. Check this out. Advent, flashbang primed and ready. They're ready to counter the retake. They've thought this out, they've planned this out. And look at how good the timing is. Flashbang pops, Zoking peeks, and also the player from the palace, they peek out. They get 2 kills simultaneously, and at the same time the other 2 players wrap around from mid. It's such a perfectly played round. They just completely dismantled that retake from Grayhound, but they never did anything close to that ever again during the entire remainder of that half. So that kind of blows my mind. That was so cool, so sick, and then nothing.
And nothing. I mean, it's a super, super cool round, and it really shows, as you said, that they thought it out. They had a clear idea of how they wanted to approach the retake scenario, how they wanted to do the whole round in a whole, so to speak. But the fact of the matter is that this is a very risky round, right? The fact that you're running up pretty much with nothing, right? You're smoking that Molotov, you're going up dry-handed. There could be a guy on the balcony, there could be a guy on the side hiding, that could like destroy the entire thing. But the fact they're calling it already in the first buy round is putting immensely pressure on the Grayhound guys. And that was at the point I thought to myself, all right, ViCi Gaming, they're coming here to play, they're coming here to put the pressure on. And that's why I'm so surprised and you know, happy for the Grayhound guys that they were able to deal with that, because they were being put a lot of pressure on them in the beginning, but they were able to stabilize. And from that point on, as you saw on the scoreline, it was just going up and up and up for Grayhound. They won every single round after that. ViCi Gaming didn't really have anything else to offer on the table, and from that point onward, we did get to see Erkset, we did get to see Sterling step it up, we get to see some of those individual brilliance from the Grayhound guys instead of the other way around, as we saw in the first map. So
and a cool thing as well, Dexter, can't forget about him. He really had a great game.
Yes. Definitely had a great game. So it's cool to see the Grayhound guys, you know, not getting too affected by the first match. That was definitely a blow in their guts, but it was cool to see them rewind it all, and now going into a third map, they must be the guy feeling confident coming into Dust2. Let's not forget, they won 90% of the map the past 3 months.
But also got to remember that, you know, overpass was 8-9% as well. So yes, logically speaking, just based on pure stats and the writing on the books and whatnot, Greyhound should take this one, but...
Well, I want to come back to this, right, in terms of the percentage wins and all that, because it can only be taken into account for such a small amount of this, right? Especially when ViCi, they've not played Dust2, right? Not recently at all. There's no information that Greyhound can possibly get from this. But actually, on ViCi's side, they seem to be very prepared for overpass, what was going down. Could they be just as prepared for Dust2? Because there's a lot to look at when it comes to Greyhound.
I think it could also be coming down to the final maps. I did touch upon the point that Greyhound picked Dust2 instead of going for Inferno, because Inferno is something they were really good as well, right? So I'm not too sure about ViCi being really comfortable on Dust2. Because one thing that worked for Overpass was it wasn't just blind aggression. They knew what they were doing. So in Dust2, no matter how much firepower you have, like I said, Greyhound also have similar firepower. Dexter stepping up was the X factor here. It was always Urcast and Sterling putting in the numbers, and the Dexter steps up, boom, they just completely dismantled ViCi, right? So they're going to have some plan in mind, and you can't, and that's a problem. When you have a weaker map pool, that's always going to be a problem when you get to the third map, especially in the best of 3 series. But for ViCi, this is going to be the win condition. You need to have something planned here, or else Greyhound, the boys are going to go through.
The fact that we're playing Dust2 is going to be a big problem for ViCi Gaming. We have praised them from having some solid CT sides, the fact that they can be aggressive mid-round and also in the beginning of the rounds on some of the more open maps as CT sides. That's good, that's been working for them. But Dust2 is not a map that allows for that. Dust2 is a very T-sided map, at least these days and at least this tournament. So far, you know, it's a map where if you gain gain control and gain money control, have momentum on the T side, it's super rough to do anything as CTs to sort of like break that momentum. You gotta be super, super well defending your bomb sites late into the rounds, use your utility wisely, and see if you can save some of that for when the hit actually comes in.
Yeah.
And what we've seen so far from Grayhound is that they're okay with waiting out. They're okay with playing on the clock. And we haven't seen ViCi really thrive in a scenario where they have to wait back and play defensively on the bomb sites. And they will be forced to if Grayhound approaches this correctly. So in that regard, I think that's part of the reason why Grayhound took this map. They feel super, super comfortable. And what we've seen so far from ViCi, their one strong asset is this mid-round aggression, is this like heavy aggression on the CT side, not necessarily on the T side. Their T side is all right. They're nothing, you know, to be talked about in that regard. But the fact that they're not going to be able to be aggressive on the CT side on Dust2, that's going to be a big problem. You're literally taking away the one strong asset you have.
Well, let's find out how it goes down on Dust2. It's going to a third and final map for the last spot to the major. Grayhound, a very comfortable map for them, while ViCi, we have the unknown to go into. Let's see how it goes. Hugo and Harry, take it away.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, the final map of the Asian Minor is up right in front of us. In fact, Dust2, Grayhound versus ViCi. And boy, oh boy, what a series this has been. Really a series of two maps in the sense that both of these have been very, very dominant for the team that we didn't expect. And now we get into a game where we really don't know what to expect, Harry. Dust2, you know, unproven ground by ViCi and Grayhound, who have had the ability to lose some of their better maps as well in the past. I mean, in the series alone. So let's leave the questions to be answered. As ViCi start things up on the CT side, we got Grayhound fast playing long. Lots of utility, but they're saving it. They're not necessarily going for the immediate smoke on the corner. Waiting to see if ViCi re-aggress potentially, but these CTs are just holding out to the back of the site, and Grayhound will be given long control for free. That's rare to see in a T-side pistol round, to get this much map control without having to take any gunfights. Smoke going down, two of them to cover the cross, and now it's Kaze on the top of the site that has to step up.
Oh, but he's getting flashed off. Zoking's with him, and Kaze only good for one. It's Malta and Dexter getting off to a good start, opening up the bomb site. Malta's in with a double, and now the bomb can look to go down. Orman up past this smoke, does drop Dexter. But they've still got a lot more to do, both players at CT. Oh, Orman! Not done yet. Urkast left in the one-on-one, and he's actually visible just a tiny bit. Orman not quite able to do much damage. Time ticking down, he really does have to pick up the pace. Has a kit at the very least. Urkast taking these fights is very awkward indeed. What's happening? I don't know what's going on. It's back and forth, Hugo. Kill him. Urkast is going to win it. Grayhound. Did you just hear the scream?
Yeah.
I think that was, yeah, you imagine that was...
That was a very, very high pitch.
Yeah.
I don't know who that was from.
That was definitely one of the Aussies.
Wow, okay, well, that pistol round was reasonable, of course. Great start to Grayhound. Actually, I wouldn't say that, not a great start, but they take the pistol round. Dear,
Someone won.
Yeah, at least. I mean, it has to happen eventually. ViCi, I mean, that's why we have time in this game, Harry, the bomb time or round time, because otherwise, you know, you get those gunfights last far too long. Quick B play here for Grayhound, and Freeman is the only man in position. We got the flank up from Zoking, but he's been picked off. Freeman's only going to get a single kill off the USP before he dies, and Dexter, don't know how he's still alive here. He's not. Kaze's found him. 3-on-2 now, and Grayhound with the bomb plant will solidify their chance of taking the second round. And the SMGs are expendable, but Urkast doesn't want to completely give away this round by losing his life in a 3-on-2. So re-smoke down on the door. Advent trying to grab the MAC-10. He gets spammed right through it. I think that was the footsteps called by Urkast, and then as a result, Grayhound just shot through the smoke. Kaze's going to be a little more creepy, a little more silent as he looks for one kill. The reload has to come through, 3 bullets left, and Sterling will finish it off. So Grayhound 2-0. Not really any problems there with a quick B play, and now it's ViCi on the buy instantly with the AWP on Kaze, and that is going to be one of the crucial factors of this map. Will he step up?
That is the big question, right? Because we really don't know. This isn't a map that we've really seen anyone on ViCi in any team they've ever been a part of elect to play all too much. Even if you look at them as individual players and discount, you know, this current lineup, they've all individually played this map 14 times in the last year. So really not a Dust2 team. At least they shouldn't be, and already Advent's been dropped over towards long. I do think one thing we're going to notice is this CT side from ViCi, I'm not expecting much. I'm going to be honest. I think if they're going to find success, it has to be over on their T half.
And that's not what you want to hear, you know, if your first half is CT. If you're getting 10-5 or 11-4, that's going to be very hard to reset from, come back into and actually pull a comeback, right? So far more difficult than, you know, maybe getting your own 10-5 and slowly but surely closing out the half, you know, having the momentum in your favor. There's a bomb plant Grayhound have done before. I do love this bomb plant. Very hard to get the defuse off if you plant it in the middle. It typically relies on the player jumping on top of the box, and that's impossible if the bomb's planted for long and you've got a man in the pit. Very easy kill for Grayhound, but no one's going for it. ViCi going to be saving this gun on Zoking.
Yeah, he's going to try and hold on to that over towards this T-ramp. Grayhound won't go hunting. They're just taking this as an opportunity to build up money over on their T side. Obviously, we've seen Grayhound on this map already. This was the one that they sent MVP home on. Now looking to try and make this the map that qualifies them to the major alongside Renegades. We would have both the boys and the other boys side by side at the major. Potentially. There's a lot of question marks. I mean, I really don't know what we're going to see from ViCi here. And I think that's something that could lend itself in their favor or be their downfall. One thing is for certain though, Dust2, Orpa's Paradise, you really need to look to Kaze to show up here for ViCi. Now he hasn't got to play with it just yet.
Nade's time.
Yeah, able to find the early nade. I think it was 3 of them thrown in over towards long.
Yeah, they bought 4 in the round, but Grayhound going to just double back into B again. And when you're up against these pistols, B is just such a problem for ViCi. And it's like that constant situation is like, you don't want to stack it in case there's a long rush and you lose loads of early control, maybe towards middle. But if you don't stack it and they push it, you lose the round because retaking is so difficult, even with guns. And, well, talking of guns, they've retrieved one of them. Kaze's found the pick up on long after finding the nade kill to Malta. They definitely should just save this. Got the buy round coming up after this, and the AWP going to be a factor as well, so Grayhound will have to deal with that, but wasn't a problem, at least in the previous, when we did see that A play. Grayhound definitely looking comfortable, though, on this map pick, though. Good mid-round calls and good rotation after they lose the player on long, right? Instantly getting the information that ViCi have to have at least 2 or 3 players here.
See, Dust2 always used to just be this, like the whole idea that everyone used to have with it is just it's like this poke star map, right? But I actually think you look at it, and it's one that a lot of teams really don't have a handle on yet, as ever since it was reintroduced into the map pool, it still doesn't feel like I could look at a team and be like, they are just a god on Dust2. Maybe Astralis is...
Every map, though.
Yeah, they're just good on every map, that's the difference. So, you know, you take out those ones. I can't think of a team that is a Dust2 team in the sense that they used to be Dust2 teams. And ViCi already showing some early signs of ill health over in this CT portion of the map. Now, obviously a big worry for them as well is if they kind of show this weakness on Dust and then say they lose this and they drop into that 3rd place decider where you have the CIS team win streak. We saw that was hands down the most played map in the CIS minor. It's one that a lot of the CIS teams are looking to make a staple as it once was. And if you show that sort of weakness, you could very easily look to have that be exploited. Flashes out in towards mid and Orman forced off the angle. Urcast rearing his head at this portion of the map. Meanwhile, the rest of Grayhound working hard to secure short control.
Do get out mid, though. And right now, ViCi are even pulling back Orman, so losing more and more control over this mid to B potential as every second passes. And Grayhound, with them just having Cat, it's towing the line between, okay, they're hitting A, and okay, they're hitting mid to B. And ViCi, they need to remain aware of that. Now, Freeman does shut down a player through a smoke in middle. So Grayhound, well, they look like they wanted to go for the mid to B play. They're going to double back up through Catwalk, where they've already established some footing. Kaze, good off angle, going to catch out Urcast. Now, ViCi 5-on-3, very important rifle round for them as to not get steamrolled out of this map. We still have Kaze down on long, going far further back. Advent's cutting down the 2 players on the pit as well. And Orman, he's rotated back up onto the ramp. So Kaze able to finish this one off. ViCi finding their first round and flawless as well. seemingly at least aware of the fact that Grayhound do like to run this just early cat control and double back between mid-B splits and short splits depending on where they find their kills and where they work out the setup of the CTs are.
Crucially for ViCi, they've been able to keep things clean, and this now building in to the double AWP between Freeman and Kazi. Already though, Urcast, playing off of the spawn, was able to drop Ormond within the opening segments of this round, and now he can go ahead and throw that AWP back onto Sterling. So the long spawn yielding fruit for Grayhound. ViCi now playing this a man down. Dust2, pretty horrible map to go a man down on this CT side. Somewhere has to get weaker as a result. And you can see they've rotated Freeman up from mid into that B-bomb site. He's trying to watch it from the window. You have Kaze up here on short. No presence for ViCi at the long portion of the map. That was obviously where they lost Orman early on. Kaze looking to find this equalizer, will be able to do so. They start to pressure him. He has to run back through that Molotov so he doesn't get away for free. Tries to flash himself around and now dropping off down into CT. Urcast gonna hear this man. But Grayhound, this was just to fake out ViCi. The real brunt of this play coming in toward the B-bomb site. This is where Freeman and Zoking reside on the AWP, and a Molotov still on Freeman could look to slow this down. Re-smoke into the tunnels. Freeman now looking down into mid, and this leaves Zoking here alone. Dick Stacy finds him straight away. Freeman up in the window. Second flick gonna miss as the man from tunnel does do damage. That bomb manages to get across, and Grayhound 15 seconds have to start to plug in these numbers.
Oh. Malta's got away with it though. The bomb plant does come in. Freeman not going to be able to stop him, and Malta getting tagged as he gets into the corner. Advent swapping guns, giving Freeman the weapon of choice. But ViCi, 3-on-3, so difficult to get back through, especially with low HP players. Now Freeman dives in straight into the site. The trade is there from Malta. Urcast picks off Kazi in the window, and now Advent has to fall away as well. Grayhound, that was a really nice flashbang from them in that round. It can be very difficult when you're pushing in through a tunnel speed smoke like that, and there's a man at the back of the box like Zoking was. It's very difficult to get him off the angle. Firstly, because he can just head glitch, and secondly, because he can just spray through the smoke. And Grayhound, they had a flashbang that they threw that stayed in the tunnels, but it bounced off almost the archway, landing very high up in the air, and therefore completely blinding Zoking at the back of the site, rendering him useless to stopping that tunnel push, because he could have single-handedly won that round for ViCi with a spray down, but completely incapacitated by the utility of Grayhound. That looked very, very purpose. 5-1. ViCi now getting reset, but they do have some money to play with at least, so the AWP held on and guns brought up around it. Kaze, you could see how much he wanted those kills in that previous round as well. Not only getting the pick up from short, but he kept re-flashing himself in, throwing that molly, trying to contest the stairs. But Grayhound not giving him the room and doubling back towards a B site where they assumed there was no AWP, although it was Freeman on the secondary that didn't really stand too much of a test. More flashes early into B from Grayhound, trying to force out utility, but ViCi aren't biting. They don't even have really the nades to play with. 2 smokes and a molly. And Grayhound just going back to a default here.
Advent down here in CT that right now just going to be jump spotting for the information as he spots that nade get thrown in by Urcast. Has support from Kaze at the very least, if he needs it. Only issue is Kaze's going to find his attention split between short and mid right now. Now he can decide to reposition further up the ramp if he doesn't want to open himself up to the mid area. But you can see he's choosing just to hover his sights between the two. Smoke now falling on short, and surely that will grab Kaze's attention. Now repositioning up that ramp slightly. Actually decides to fall off of it completely, giving up the bomb site, opting to play this from the crossroads. Flashes rain in, but Grayhound haven't committed. 35 seconds, this B play comes through from Dexter. And now that they've lost him, are we going to see Grayhound continue with this? Sterling and Malta trying to fake the rotation, but Advent in the backline, he's going to spot these players crossing back up to Catwalk. He gets the information, and now Kaze just has to land the shots. 15 seconds, and Kaze's decimated Dick Stacey and Urcast. The bombs dropped out in the open. Sterling's been brought down low, but it's the Kaze show right now. 3 kills to his name. He's shut this round down, and Sterling's just looking to try and get away with the AWP. Well managed to do so as he runs for the hills. ViCi Gaming in with their second, and it goes flawless for this CT side.
Yeah, so flawless. Not even a point of damage done to those CTs. And that just looked very uncomfortable for Grayhound, stuck between not knowing which site to hit, hoping Dexter could get a kill into B while they pressured that A site with another fake. But you could see, after these flashes were thrown in from Kaze and Orman down in the CT spawn, Kaze wide strafed up on this car position and spotted that no one was coming out the catwalk. Therefore, those B players had no need to adjust and rotate. And ViCi were very much ready for that push to come through and the fake thrown into B. Grayhound 5-2. Well, they found that reset in the previous round. ViCi do recover. And very important that they do, because now everything to play with. Utility across this CT side for a change, and Grayhound looking to flash a man into middle. Zoking's going to be here. No smoke towards the spawn just yet, and that flashbang is perfect. He's going to be forced off. Gizzer cast the move, but he won't be able to go any further than that. Advent regressing up on long. He's found himself in the corner position. We've seen him in many times already this map. Now Grayhound, will they be aware of it as they look to try and get out through those doors and take control of this A site?
Oh, they're not. Advent could prove to be the scourge of Grayhound in this round. Sterling here alone, gonna try and force the fight. Things heating up for Advent, but somehow no. This man is fireproof. He's all good. And that's forced the rotation of Sterling away from long. That is devastating. Now looking to try and join up with Dexter as he's dropped into CT and into the crosshair of Orman. Sterling, we've seen an ace from him on this map. At least in a previous matchup, but not this time around, as Kaze wins that fight. And ViCi now starting to chain together a couple, building up confidence here on their CT side, starting to get into a rhythm of things, and that was going to be the big question mark to me, is can we see them feel comfortable on this map? Because you saw it first, they certainly didn't, right? Players are always caught out of position. Very rarely did we see them manage to hold any portion of the map or look like they had much control. You note that they were very, very keen on playing these passive angles back in mid, giving up catwalk, not challenging for anything. Well, that round there, one of the stars is Advent hiding in the corner over at long as he took the aggression within the opening segments of the round. So ViCi definitely are finding their footing. They are getting a bit more comfortable here.
Urcast again, he's been given so much mid-room here, but Orman not going to let him get it any further than this. Only PT50 on the team as well. Everyone else glocked up here for Grayhound. And oh, hello. Showing a bit of toe there. Orman going to get out his nail clippers. ViCi now man up, and the only weapon above a Glock on that round has already been removed. So good luck for Grayhound to really find anything here. They will fast play up through middle. Could try and burst out here, but with the second player in rotation, this is going to be a bloodbath. Oh. New paint job on that door. 4 rounds to ViCi, not a death again. These rounds have been so clean, and that's going to be extremely important to building up this economy. You can see already ViCi sitting between the mark of $6,000 to $9,000.
I tell you what, this entire series really has felt like, not so much like a roller coaster of momentum, it's been more like a pendulum. Very much one way then the other. You know, we think back to that first map, ViCi take a 12-3 half, close it out dominatingly. Grayhound, they take an 11-4 half on Mirage, and that ended in a dominant fashion with Grayhound taking the W there. And here, while the initial few rounds look fantastic for the Aussies, ViCi, they've certainly found their footing in these last couple and are now looking to chain even more together. You highlighted the money as one big issue, and I mean that's one of many right now for Grayhound. So King gonna get brought down low and finished off by Dick Stacey. Immediately refragged though by Orman as he pushes up through short, understands the importance of dealing with that man while they can, not letting the problem extend much beyond the frag onto Zoking down in mid. They have forced this 4-on-4, which is much more manageable for ViCi. Missed shot from Kaze and from Orman, and they're both bought low as a result. Kaze trying to stand the test of time inside of this A-bomb site. While he finds the man close, he's not ready for Dick Stacey, who's in with 3.
shutting down this round for ViCi, it seems. And this bomb plant can even come through. Freeman too far away. Orman, if he wants to make a play, he's got to find Dick Stacy here, and that's a great shot through the edge of the smoke. 11 points of health the difference as Freeman comes up through Cat at just the right time. The jump from Orman takes away the attention, and Freeman finishes off with a frag. ViCi get the round done. It's Dick Stacy again, pulling Grayhound out of a horrible scenario, getting himself a couple of equalizing kills, but then not being able to close out the round. ViCi 5-5, and as you said, this recovery from ViCi is being damn good, Harry. It's going to continue 4 rounds in a row on the CT side now. And again, the money gets put down to nothing here for Grayhound. They're just running off of loss bonus and fumes. So 3K, a Galil, Scout. I mean, this is just a done round for Grayhound. You're just hoping for damage at a most here because ViCi, they've been locking down this A site round after round. Now flashes towards long and the Molotov holds Malta back. ViCi going for a quad A setup early on, and they will re-aggress, continuing to play close towards those doors. Now going to just shuffle back to the sites because they know that mid and B are open, and you don't want to leave them open on a round like this when you're up against pistols.
They've thrown that one hero Galil onto Dick Stacy. I tell you what, he has been able, in so many of these rounds, even back on Mirage, to just get, important trades, important refrags. You see in that round there, he does more than just trade. He goes above and beyond that. He's also the man to find the opener down in mid, takes the double kill over towards long. Might not be the man fragging the highest in the server, but you can't argue that none of his kills have been high impact. Now Dexter pushing in toward this B bomb site with the AWP, looking to go blow for blow with Zoki, not the AWP, the Scout rather. Zoking well best, and that first shot missing seals his death warrant. Rest of Grayhound now looking to step up to the plate. Freeman gonna take this initial peek, and he lines up too. Zoking's there to help out, and that leaves Urcast trying to sneak out through mid. This time Orman doesn't give him that much ground. ViCi moving on to a 6th as they take the lead for the first time since Overpass.
And that seems like a long, long time ago, Harry. Grayhound even calling a tactical pause off the back of this as well. They have got the money and knowing the importance of trying to start to chip away at this money of ViCi, because that's the issue. It's starting to get out of control. Even if you've got a couple more rounds to get for Grayhound, you're nowhere in sight of getting, free pusher rounds where you've put ViCi's money down to trash. You've got the eco on the CT side, and as we know, ecos on Dust2, pretty awful. And so those really are free rounds for Grayhound if they can break the money, but they're so far away from doing that with players nearing $16,000. Timeout for Grayhound runs dry, and now we get back into another rifle round. I'd love to see what they're going to do in this one. Maybe go back towards that B site early on. That was how they really started off this map, but have kind of neglected committing towards that site in quite a few rounds, with the exception of one eco that didn't go their way.
Well, one thing that we've noted ViCi are doing a lot better is aggressing across the map. Once again, in this round, they've boosted players up on a short, and that's going to allow them to beat the timing of Grayhound here somewhat. Yeah, slowing down. Urcast spots them, but that nade was almost looking too good to be true for ViCi. Just sails past Urcast at the last minute. He gets a little bit fortunate there. But as I was saying, one thing that they've gotten better at is taking this aggression. So for Grayhound, I think they're worried about just committing to a bomb site. I don't think you can afford to with how ViCi have been keen to spread out and push and prod here and there. Heading towards short in the early stages of the round, spotting players down in lower tunnels, and they're not keen on sticking around that much longer once it gets called that there are players on Cat. But then you think, we've seen Advent, he's been keen on pushing long. There's been 3 rounds that we've seen him do it thus far over on their CT side. Grayhound very much conditioned and used to this aggression coming out from ViCi, then met with this passive stance in this round as they play back into the bomb sites, not giving anything up. Orman now going to go back with the long aggression once more from ViCi, catches the timing, lines up both. That's the bomb dropped. Sterling and Malta get caught with their pants down, and Advent in with another. Dick Stacy and Urcast all that remain. 2 on 5 required and only 20 seconds to get it done in. With the bomb being down in long, this round is over. ViCi will be picking up a 7th. They can't go flawless again. My word, 5 players staying alive once more. ViCi, this is incredible right now.
Yeah, as you call it as well. I mean, this re-aggression from ViCi has been so nice. It's like Overpass all over again, where they'll wait for Grayhound to set up and then just get in their face at 30 seconds. Orman with a huge round there. And he's rivaling Kaze right now, sitting actually 1 kill above. It's been the series of Orman, Kaze, and Freeman across this ViCi side, and that continues to be the case over on Dust2 on the 3rd map here. With a major spot on the line, Grayhound, they're going to rush out long, speed up this pace, no longer give the room to ViCi, but as you say that, 3 players aggressing here for the CT side, and they're just getting kills through smoke. It's not even fair at this point. Dix2 with a trade, but the pistol's out, and Orman's whipping them back 2-2. As long as finally going to be controlled by Grayhound, it took them so many players. But Kaze, he's still here, and what a pillar of consistency he has been. Another shot connecting to Urcast, and Dix2, a 1-on-2 here. This would be a saving round if Grayhound could find it.
So one of the reasons that we've been commending Dick is that he's always been able to turn on, you know, rise to the occasion in these hard situations. 1v2 required, and both players over towards long. Can he continue living up to it? He cannot. Kaze shutting him down. 3 players almost on $16,000 within ViCi, so buying is no problem. First time in a long time we've really even seen heavy casualties sustained on this ViCi gaming side.
But it just shows, like, Grayhound, no matter what they do, they're seemingly running into the perfect setup from ViCi, right? The first time we see a long rush all game since the pistol round for Grayhound, and there are 3 players there spamming smokes for ViCi. Just good calling on the CT side and being very aware of Grayhound's tendencies. Kaze cannot find the pick on long this time, but if you look at the money of Grayhound, it's quite lackluster, 1 AK. Now the wrap through spawn has been spotted, so Orman going to get caught by the P250 of Dexter. Maybe 4x3 there. Urkar's going to move through the molly and lower tunnels. He's actually going to get hit with a nade this time. Been typically okay with getting through this position with minimal damage, but this won't be an example. Orman's gun still dropped in middle, so Dexter can go in and try and retrieve that after flashing his teammates out through middle. Actually, rather just throwing a flash to keep back a CTA WP player. And Dix2, do they realize? Does that vent know? He's crept into the pit.
Doesn't matter that he doesn't know. He's able to flick down into the pit. Secures Dix2, and now 4-on-4 ensues. Grayhound looking like they want to try and head back to this A bomb site, but this is where Kaze lies, and he has been such a nuisance with this AWP. They just haven't been able to get by him. Push coming in now, and this time a man has dropped into CT, but Kaze there to secure the kill. Advent winning out his fight over towards long in the meantime, and Kaze, the gift that keeps on giving. 1 man left standing, it's Malta, and Zoking deletes him. 9-5 for ViCi.
I honestly think there's no point going A anymore. There's just no point. Fully flash kills the player that rushes him in CT, follows up with another one on the site. Grayhound just cannot get past this man. He is an unstoppable force of nature, Harry.
Part of me wonders if maybe we just see Grayhound go for a mid to B play here, right? You think about how much of a foothold Urcast has been able to get down in mid almost every single round. I think finally they've realized that this A bomb site with Kaze on it just isn't the place you want to go. If you go running into this AWP, he's been so consistent at besting this A offensive.
I mean, this would be the perfect round to go B. Look at the setup from ViCi again. This 4-man long setup. 1 player on the site, that's Freeman. He's not really been tested here in this map, so we don't really know how comfortable he's feeling, and he may really have a problem here. Now, no utility left up for ViCi as Dexter creeps up into this B site. He has found his way here. Now, the mid push coming through at the same time, and Freeman's attention diverted. He finds 1 kill, but Grayhound do get through the tunnels. Great call from them. There's finally a reactive play from Grayhound to avoid this AWP, and they've done a great job. Plant in with a man advantage and 3 mollies left up to cut off these rotations. It's last round of the half of ViCi. They would save every single time otherwise, but they can't here.
Well, let's see if they manage to get this done. They don't clear out mid. Malta will be undetected. Now has Dexter alongside him. Takes down the first man as they're setting up utility. And Malta, he's done it all. Advent in a 1v3, won't be ready for Dexter. Grayhound securing a 6th with the mid to be at the very end. And that will be ViCi still securing a very dominant half, moving to their T side. This is still anyone's game. Join us after the break to see who will be securing that major spot.
We are 1/2 away from the second major spot to be granted here in the Asian Minor. ViCi up against Grayhound as we head into that pistol round. And Grayhound now moving over with a disadvantage to the CT side. It's going to be a smoke down short for ViCi and a fast cap play. Urquhart's getting domed and already a great start for the Chinese.
Whoop. Stacy tagged out and finished off over at long. This A bomb site is crumbling. Grayhound, 3 players in CT. Anything but ideal to try and retake with all 3 in this position. DU managed to work their way up close, but Advent winning that first fight. Sterling doing what he can, but they're getting bodied from short. Kaze only just arriving. Now Sterling has heard the footsteps. He's trying to isolate this fight, but with so many positions, just to look down into CT, peek in from so many different angles, you didn't really imagine Grayhound stood any chance there. One of the worrying things was, at least for me, and my prediction of this, was that ViCi would have a better time over on this T side than what we saw on the CT side. I think that's the case for a lot of these teams. Is on Dust2, CT side is really where you see some problems arise from teams that don't play this map all too much.
Yeah, it's just about having like constant dynamic setups, right? Knowing when to switch stuff up. And to be honest, ViCi were really good at that. They threw in the quad long setups on the rounds that Grayhound pushed long. They had, you know, a pretty decent hold towards B when Grayhound did hit that site, although it wasn't really till the end that we saw that too often. And nice regression on short on the CT side as well. I think ViCi CT side was actually far better than I was expecting for a team that hasn't played this map. And that's what makes me think that they've been doing a lot of work and saving it. Because this is a team that has 2 maps they hadn't even played in officials coming into this event. And on one of them, Harry, they're only 6 rounds away from getting a major spot. So definitely a bit of a surprise one for ViCi. Grayhound now forcing up in this second round. And this is going to delay their bye for another one, which, well, they're starting to run out of rounds to play with here, Harry.
But for Grayhound, it's probably fresh in their mind that back on Mirage, they're able to find success with this sort of buy. This time, though, already losing the Urquhart, who was really the hero in that force buy back on Mirage for Grayhound. He's already fallen. Dexter going to be joining him, and those are two big players to find for Grayhound. So now not only are they sitting 2 men down, but it's the 2 men that really we've been looking to step up. Here's Dick Stacy, always ready to rise to the occasion, but not this time around. ViCi 11-6, no money left for Grayhound here, and there should be a 12th almost guaranteed for ViCi Gaming.
Yeah, no, I do understand why Grayhound went for that force, wanting to get the full buy coming into the 4th round of the half with the AWPs and everything, especially considering how good Kaze has been. But the issue is when you're already down 9-6 in the half, plus you lose pistol, Grayhound are going to have a lot of trouble. It's going to be 12-6 before this buy comes in, and Sterling, someone who's only got 4 kills in this map so far, being Europa, there's a lot of reliance on him coming into that next round. So let's see if he can step up to the plate. It will just be USPs here as the B rush is called by ViCi, and Grayhound had 5 in middle, meaning they have a quick rotation in. Unfortunately, running into the rifles. As I say that, though, Dexter finds 2 kills off the back of the USP, and Malta, he's still here with the P250 in the middle of the site. Zoking alone and getting pincered from the backline. The timing of this tunnels fight could decide the fate of the round. Kaze's going to keep his eyes on it, and Urquhart doubling back, saving his own life. Now, ViCi have left the bomb in the site, but they're going to re-aggress and try and take control. Malta getting caught after his shot misses, and the smoke to the door denies Urquhart the line of sight, but it being a USP round, he's just going to go right on through to his death. Kaze cleaning it up, and ViCi 12 rounds to 6 here, Harry. This is it, the make or break buy for the major spot here for Grayhound if they can keep this one going. They do have the AWP to play with, but so does Kaze.
Also, just wanted to grab an interesting stat for you that ViCi, over on their CT side, had 5 flawless rounds where nobody died. And, you know, if you want to look at ones where only 4 players survived, they had like 7. So Grayhound, just a case of no one really winning their fights out either. That always is going to come back to punish you. You know, the pressure's on here. It's the fast B play from ViCi, and now we're going to look towards Malta and Dexter to step up, and they've done exactly that. They both find 3. They find 3 between them, rather. Zoking now suddenly thrust into this 1-on-4, and not looking good for him, but he has been able to isolate Malta. Bomb can look to go down. He's got a full belt of utility to play with, so still a chance here to find something. He throws that smoke down, and he's decided to go through it. Sterling is keeping an eye on this. Oh, no. They've gone past one another. They've bypassed Zoking, and now maybe expecting him to be in the tunnel, but Dick Stacy had the forethought to check it. Almost from Zoking, you know, you understand the idea behind it, the balls to even attempt that sort of play in the 1-on-3. Grayhound, pretty fortunate that all 3 players decide to group up and push through the window and doors together, that we didn't have that tunnel wrap that we're so used to seeing. They just wanted to play the numbers game there, trade off of one another, not allow him to isolate any of these 1-on-1 fights.
Yeah, they even swapped out the AWP for the M4 and Sterling to go for the retake. Grayhound, they didn't want to miss a trick there. 7-12, a recovery round for Grayhound to keep them in this map, not let this spiral out of control before they even start off on the CT side. Now we do have the buy here from ViCi, a couple of UMPs and the AWP for Kaze. Even 2 of them for Grayhound. They've retrieved that AWP from the previous round, so Dexter's gone aggressive in the tunnels here. Now there are a couple of players in position, but Kaze going to walk to his death. Great shot from Dexter, the close smoke as well. Will cover his retreat. Now Zoking trying to come out through middle in the meantime, assuming that maybe Grayhound are focused up on that B site with Dexter getting aggressive, but you can see there is a man in the spawn to cover that. Urquhart on the boost. Actually just dropped off rather. We even have Dexter up in the window watching down for mid, trying to make contact to allow Urquhart to do more damage from the spawn, and that may happen as well considering Orman is creeping in with the retrieved AWP. And, oh dear, the barrel of the gun giving away his position. Dexter getting away with that kill. Now he doesn't even need to fight because Urquhart, they haven't even seen him in the spawn. In the meantime, ViCi run out long. Urquhart has taken down that mid player, but it's a 2-on-4 here for ViCi.
And now trying to run the gauntlet against Sterling. Smoke goes down, but Dexter not going to be so kind as to let them get across. Freeman has at least isolated that first man. Molotov rains in, and that will deny the bomb plant. Urcast on this wraparound from Long, mopping up the final player for ViCi and Grayhound. They're very much back into this now. 8-12, slowly but surely closing that gap, the lead that ViCi once had. Let's not forget, for those of you who are just tuning in, this was a 9-6 half in favor of ViCi. They then went on it to secure the pistol round, find the 2 anti-ecos on the back of it, and go 12-6 up.
And because of such a strong half on that first, right, ViCi were never on eco, they were never on pistol, so Grayhound, they had to work hard for their rounds. And now as a reward, they get an eco to deal with, ViCi having no cash to play with. So definitely what Grayhound would like. A round to close this gap. Get themselves a 9th on the CT side, assuming things go well. And, well, with a shot through the smoke already starting off, not too bad. No deagles either for ViCi. Not that that would be, you know, a huge saving grace, but Kaze has retrieved one off the body of Freeman, and now we need someone to try and find an opener here for ViCi, but you're really asking for a lot considering the range of these battles Grayhound will be taking. There's no one playing a close corner. The only danger is Urcast in the middle if he gets dropped in from Cat, but he's got Sterling covering him up from the car on the orb. So ViCi looking to bound out through Long, try and get past the big dick on the other side. But Stacy waits with his AK and he should just be fine. Ooh.
Well, maybe falls a little bit short there in that one, but Orman, only player left here for ViCi. He should just get dealt with, although Urcast offers himself up. Fake flashes with the bomb. Yeah, admire the courage.
Why not?
A little bit big to be a flashbang. Imagine if it had worked. Would have been great.
So the bomb has bullet impact. If you shoot the bomb, your bullet's gonna stop. So in theory, there is an idea that you could throw the bomb in front of you and use it to defend you. But I mean, no, that would never happen because
you say it would never happen.
No,
then,
well,
you know.
I mean, we did see time.
I was gonna say also, you iconically watched, like for example, Rops get killed by a chicken that time because it was blocking the door. No one ever thought that would happen.
Murderous animals. Orman.
Keeping an eye on this push from Dexter, and they're just locked in this standoff. Oh, so close, toeing the line, threading the needle, either one. Waiting for the other to break first in this fight. Meanwhile, we can see ViCi aggressing up through short, maintaining control of this top portion of mid. I do like keeping tabs on these little standoffs, Hugo. You know that. Come on. Oh, Dexter's going to get it. Orman peeking a little too wide as he tries to line up that bit of utility. And Dexter, his patience is rewarded. Man advantage gained for Grayhound. And now ViCi looking to go with this cat play. They lose all presence in the tunnels. They're wary that there could even be this push coming in from behind now with Dexter securing that frag. And as a result, it's likely we do just see this A commitment come in.
Yeah, that nade is so well timed though. They're all set up here. Oh, the double from Grayhound. So much damage. And now the guns can really swing in to finish it off. It's the AWP from Sterling. Urcast with 2. And Kaze, he is out of this round. He is running right away. 5 players currently still alive for Grayhound. And they should know exactly where he is, or at least where he was. As Kaze looks to try and save this up, they're even coming in from the back of Lon and Spawn, so good luck. Dick Stacey's in the back, and he will be able to finish that one off. So Grayhound, they are closing this distance, Harry. That's a 4th round in a row on this CT side. We had a strong start, including the pistol and the conversions for ViCi, but tapered off since then. And now another pistol round.
And I figured from ViCi, we'd see their strength shine through on this T side, but Grayhound, they've risen above and beyond. They're looking fantastic. In every one of these rounds, we see them finding little areas to exploit, ways to take the edge in a lot of these fights. ViCi this time throw that one smoke down onto Xbox. This is surely just going to be this short rush. Not going to wait this time to allow those nades to build up. Instead, trying to offset that with this blistering pace. Flashbang throwing in from Urcast to facilitate the peak from Sterling. And between them, they're putting a stop to this. Sterling with his AWP, shutting it down at ramp. Now Kaze is going to pick him up. Oh, Kaze wished he had longer arms. He can't quite grab that while it's off the side. And until he's dealt with Dick Stacey, that AWP is trapped just out of his grasp. And Dexter's going to mop up the remaining two. Grayhound an 11-12 scoreline as they have started to get back into this. You feel bad for Kaze there.
Yeah, one of the questions we had coming into this half was Sterling, right? Especially with him getting 4 kills in the first half and, you know, the entirety of Grayhound forcing up second round to prohibit that 4th round AWP buy. We wondered, was it worth it? Will Sterling be able to find his footing? Well, he's almost tripled his kills in just 6-7 rounds alone. So he's having a great time on this A site right now on that AWP. Really has been holding it off for Grayhound, but look at this fast pace into this buy round. Orman, he waits for no one. Through the molly, he jumps down to the pit and takes down Dick Stacey. The AWP may still be here for Sterling, finding the leg to Kaze, but he would have loved that kill. Grayhound looking for the refrag, and Sterling wants to try and cross, trying to find a gap when they stop spraying, and he does manage to hop his way into the spawn. But still, Grayhound down a man, conceding long control with no info towards Cat. They've just even rotated off B. These guys are pushed up into middle. Zoking gonna double back and try and check this, but he doesn't want to commit to it. They're holding for him. They're ready and waiting. He's got a teammate at the top of middle, and this could go very well for ViCi, but the first frag found from Dexter. Zoking only able to find one. The double back out of long from ViCi, and with an MTB bomb site, this could be theirs.
Cast is going to hear these players rotating, and he is just going to beat them there. Sterling even dropping down a CT, but oh no, this bomb rotating back up. Advent proving to be a tricky trickster indeed, as now he's up through short. He's made the call that that bomb going to head back towards A. The penny drops for Sterling as he hears these footsteps. That smoke falling on the cross, going to give it up. ViCi with plenty of time to decide where they want to plant this bomb as well, and it will get planted for long. With Kaze down in the pit, AWP in hand, bomb planted for him. There should be absolutely no way that Grayhound get back into this round.
They're going to give it a go. Cast has found the low HP player. He can't quite finish off the kill. The nade up ramp lands well. And a shot behind it for Urkos. He should have seen the man on top of the site there. So Sterling, is he aware? Kaze's already picked off the man in CT, and Sterling seems to know exactly where Freeman is, but the shot's not connecting, and the round is saved by ViCi. What an intelligent fake down towards that B site. They get long control. They put a player in the pit. They fake the wrap back down to B once we see those rotations from the CT side off the site. And then, well, we see Grayhound fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. Urkos caught in the wrong side of the map. And ViCi able to catch the timing to get back up through short. What a round from them.
And now we get to see buys for either side of the table. This is a real make or break round for either team. Whoever loses it, economy going to be reset. Orman able to open up. Dick Stacey from down in the pit throws a bit of a spanner in the works. Quick double from Dick Stacey, and Urkos now here to help out. This bomb is trapped on the back of Kaze. Missed shot as Sterling does allow Advent to cross onto elbow, though this could prove to be a bit of a tough situation. He's able to escape, and that, I think, is going to do some favors for ViCi. If he gets stuck out on a limb there, away from his teammates, just able to get isolated by the 3 players over towards A, then this should have been a Grayhound round, but now dropping back into this 2-on-4, it's still very much anyone's game. Urkos keeping an eye on mid. Dick Stacey going aggressive through long. He might only be on 6 HP, but that's not enough to deter him.
Urkos is alone here now. Sterling's line of sight isn't going to be able to catch this, but Dexter's already dropped the 1 man in those B tunnels, and Dick Stacey's already flanking. Grayhound do deal with that 2-on-4 very well. And a shutdown play on long, just as how we had the same round in the first half where ViCi heavy stacked that long portion of the map right as the T's rushed it. We had the exact same call from Grayhound. Heavy long play, quick entry from ViCi, and although they get out into the position, it's Dick Stacey and his toolkit doing work.
Super important round for Grayhound to pick up, because had they lost it, as we were alluding to, either team that did was on a double eco. The fact they're able to pick that up net allows them now to equalize things out. This becomes a much more interesting game as a result. I think this is going to be right down the wire. One thing I've been so impressed with, sorry, is the calling on Advent. I think he's done some wonderful things with this ViCi team. You take a look at how they adjusted, maybe not in that round there, but in the rounds prior where they were able to go with that fake long play down into mid and then fake that B-bomb site, knowing that Grayhound are playing very, very fast on these rotations.
It's the flashes of brilliance that are nice. It's just like it's not consistent, is it? Because even back on Mirage, when we had that first rifle round up on the A site of the T side, like Bless showed on the desk, we had that really nice that flash up from ramp and the double flank round mid. Like, we're seeing some really cool things from ViCi. It's just sometimes they fall back into just not showing us anything at all and just running to their death out through long. But, you know, not everything can be a painting. Dexter painting the floor with blood there in middle. He's going to get tagged, so falling back a little bit, hoping for the help from mid of Urcast. And oh, Malta, he's moving up close as well. This could be a weirdly timed rotation, because if he moves out of this site, ViCi have 5 players in the tunnels. Now, it is only pistols, don't get me wrong, but if they grab the AWP, they could lock down the post plant here. It's down to Dexter, the solo man on the bomb site. Malta will be very quick to rotate back in, and Dexter's already spotted 5 players and the bomb, so 2 kills. He is lining them up. They will continue to spam, but he doesn't even need to peek, waiting for his teammate to finish off the job. And Dexter with 3, huge shutdown round. A player that has been slow all tournament long, but in the most important game here for Grayhound, he has shown up.
And now we arrive, round 27, all tied up. This has been such a back and forth game. First 2 maps, completely different story. Obviously, we saw ViCi convincing victory over on Overpass. Similar story for Grayhound on Mirage as they traded each other's map picks. It's Dust2 where we see these flashes of brilliance, these big plays to tie things up 13-13. Good nade onto Zoking. Dick Stacy setting himself up over here at long. Doesn't have any support. Sterling can maybe look to, doesn't actually even have a flashbang to throw in. So Dick Stacy is very much alone here. Make no mistake of that. Flash through, Dick Stacy able to get 1. Oh, they need to trade him, but actually he gets far more than he ever should have got away with. Ormond coming in a little bit late along with Advent. Man advantage gain for Grayhound, and they spot 2 players over at long. They catch Kaze getting down into the pit. Ormond sneaking up. Nothing to signal, nothing to telegraph that this play is coming through, so Urcast will just get blindsided, and Freeman going as far as to drop the man over on short, but now the bomb falls, and Freeman, he's got it! Now he's crossed up into the bomb site. What's going on there? He taps it down, there's no smoke, so God knows how he gets across. Malta in on this wrap round from long. Freeman, if he's able to clutch this out in the 1v2, that would be a spectacle. Flash up through short just to get his attention, but you'll note Dexter wrapping in through CT, and Malta's already all the way up long. Freeman's not checking it, and surely no missed shot from Malta. There might be a chance here. That second man coming in from CT's been heard. Freeman finds the first. Dexter trades, getting up into the bomb site. Is there enough time? There has to be a kit for him to grab somewhere.
It's fine.
He's all good, never mind. Getting too excited. Oh, Grayhound, my word. Very back and forth, gets very uncomfortable. Don't even know how Freeman managed to grab the bomb. But they manage a 14th, they take the lead. Things are looking good now for the Aussies to reach map point.
I mean, it's so close. Freeman even dodged the flash up from CT to take the kill to Malta. It was so close. But yet so far, Harry, because look at that, the money's been broken up against 14 rounds for Grayhound. This is the hardest call ViCi have to make. They have 3,000 to 4,000 a player, 13-14 on their last tactical timeout, and they've got to know if they want to play for overtime or try and force up here. Now, I think overtime is the best call to make, but you can't rely on that, and that's not going to be an easy road to recovery. So
definitely not. And as well as that, it's going to be in the back of your mind, right, that if you pick up this force, only 1 man survived over on the side of Grayhound in that round. Their money's not going to look great. I think maybe you're more tempted to go for a partial investment, and that's now definitely furthered by the fact we see Zoking grabbing himself the arm of the Tech-9 of smoke. I imagine we see either just a flat B commitment, or they try and go for the split, throwing a smoke down for this cross. You can see Advent and Freeman will head towards the long portion of the map. Kaze keeping an eye on this push into tunnels. Obviously, they saw Dexter do it not too many rounds ago.
From what this looks like early on, it seems like ViCi want to go for another one of these cat plays that Grayhound showed a lot in the first half, and then duck down into middle and go for the mid to B. Kaze is up in the tunnels already, establishing control, denying this aggression that Dexter has continually shown with that orb. But this time it's watching mid up from the window. Got to flash him off, and they do, but he peeks back in. Nice shot to Zoking. Can he find any more? Wide strafe, and there's a second player there, but man's already in through the door. Malta does get the trade, but it might be too little and too late. Malta saving the day! And 3 kills at the back of the site. It seemed like the timing from ViCi was too good, but Malta steps up on that defense. And you can see how hype Grayhound's starting to look now. They are 1 round away from the major.
They are helped so much by the fact that Kaze actually pushes into that just a few seconds too late to get those trades with the players coming in from the double doors. I don't know what the issue was there, whether he's waiting, perhaps anticipating that there's another man, waiting for utility usage. But he pushes into that bomb site just seconds too late to deal with Malta, and that will be Grayhound reaching map, series, and major spot point here. 15-13, Hugo. They need 5 more kills to be the second Australian team confirmed for IEM Katowice 2019.
And look at this push. Grayhound haven't done this all half, but this round, aggressing up on Cat. 3 players, even going as far as to go into middle with no lower tunnels control for ViCi. They're going to have no idea. The flashes might make it fairly obvious, but that nade might have just saved the day. Grayhound doing so much damage. The kill is there from Urkos, the instant trade, but the repeat from Dick Stacey, and he is mowing them down up on the catwalk. The bomb's been dropped. It's a 2-on-3, and ViCi needs someone to step up.
Sterling even going as far as to drop that bomb, and now it's fallen into his crosshair. Kaze, a man that we've spoken so much about, has showed so much potential, been a consistent top performer for ViCi. And now the only man left. He walks into the crosshair of Malta, and Grayhound, they've done it. Look at how happy they are. 16-13, they take this series 2-1. They're going to break the set as they become the second Aussie team joining Renegades at that new Challengers stage.
And ladies and gentlemen, you've all been waiting for it, but it's finally the day. Dick's on your guns. We're going to have Grayhound going through and getting those stickers at the major new Challengers spot. What an exciting series. Very back and forth in the maps, and then that final one being as close as we can get.
My goodness, Grayhound, I don't think anyone can argue with it. They looked fantastic from beginning to end. Overpass got off to a bad start. They recover on Mirage. They find their footing on Dust2. They make it close. They give us a great game, but they managed to close it out. And I think, you know, the better team did win that one there. ViCi dropping down into that 3rd place slot. That means they move into the minor playoffs where they play versus the 3rd place team from every other region. That leaves them versus North and Windstrike. That's all from me and Hugo. Happy Australia Day to all the Aussies down under who are going to be very happy with this. Back to you on the desk, James.
Thank you, Harry. We do get what we want from Dick Stacey on the guns, but not just him, Grayhound as well, as they make it through in the last spot for the Asia Minor. And to break this final map down of Dust2, I've got Pimp and Blair as always. And my, oh my, Grayhound, they do get it done. But ViCi, they never stops. They were unrelenting in their aggression and throwing it back. And after such a good first half, you thought, hey, look, they could be getting it done, right?
Yeah, and it was exactly quite opposite as what I expected. I thought ViCi Gaming would have a strong T side and a weak CT side, but it was the other way around. They were playing phenomenal on the CT side. They had some great timings and some flash pushes. They have some great mid-round aggression, and they were also good at holding their own when it got into late to the rounds. That said, though, I think Grayhound were not playing up to pair with what we've seen so far from them on their T side. There was some miscommunication, some mistakes being made, and I think to sum it all up, you know, to sum a game like this up, where we are 3rd map, you know, winner qualified for the major itself. It is super, super, super nervous Counter-Strike we're watching right here. It is tense. It is down to the fact where you can see in that round, I think it was the pistol round, where Urksat and some other guy were missing 20, 25 bullets on each other with the USB. Freeman, there you go. Like 2 players who have been playing phenomenal throughout the tournament.
2 best players of both the teams.
Potentially the 2 best players of both teams, you know, completely just messing it up. So there was so many nerves, there was so much tension in this game, and it was super, super cool to witness. Grayhound, what a way to win.
Oh, what a way to win indeed. And ViCi, right? At least they can look at this and say, hey, look, we fought a lot harder. We gave it a lot more than what we thought. Most people had counted us out of it, right? We thought they were going to come in here and be like, you don't have the map pool. You're going to have to rely on that firepower too much. But we're slowly seeing this change in the Asian region.
Yeah, I think I have to give credit to Advent, right? Like keep talking about a lack of in-game leaders in the Asian scene, and I think Advent has done a very good job. We saw real cool stuff like the Mirage map, for example, on Dust2, 30 seconds left on the clock. The re-aggression, Omen especially, really stepping it up. But then again, let's be honest, on a T side from Grayhound, they fed ViCi a lot, especially Kazi, not taking anything away from him. He played out of his mind. He's been a player for me to watch for this entire tournament, but the number of times he was allowed to get so many free kills towards the A bomb side should not have happened. And I think they took too long to realize the B bomb side kind of weak, and when they hit it, they won the round. They managed to get a couple of rounds at the very end of the first half, right? So it's not like, that's the thing. ViCi punished Grayhound for playing a little too nervously, a little too passively. However, the second half, Grayhound lost one round, that's it, on the one buy round rather. And they managed to just grind it out to get in string, I think like 8 or 9 rounds almost in a row. That's a huge performance from them, and deserving winners as well.
Hey, deserving winners indeed, and we've got one of them deserved winners. Sat down with Jason Kaplan, ready for an interview, and would you look at who it is?
It's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Stacey here joining me. First of all, congratulations on that victory. 9-6 half, Dust2. You guys are on the last map. Obviously, you have another chance to qualify in the third chance qualifier. What the hell is going through you guys' mind?
I don't know, man. We just had to dig deep. It feels fucking amazing, though, boys. We got the diggers. Man, I don't know what to say, eh? Like, the juice is just fucking flowing through me right now. I'm just too happy. I'm over the moon. But, well played to ViCi. Like, the first map, I was like, oof, boys, come on. Like, what was that? Like, are we really going to choke these dick stickers for the fams? But, I don't know, man. I'm just too hard right now.
So, now that you qualified for the major, everyone out there gets to finally put the giant, massive, thick and pumped stickers on their guns. How does it make you feel now being able to see your signature in the game?
It makes me feel like I was born to do this. Like, it feels natural to me. Like, if you're not going thick and pumped and deep and long, boys, like, what are you doing? Like, feels good, man. It feels like a dream come true coming to the major, and I'm so glad it's fulfilled. And thank you all for the support. Like, I love you all.
And forgetting about all the celebrations tonight and probably for the next couple days, what's the game plan for the team? Let's get serious. What are you going to do now for the next coming weeks before that major begins?
Honestly, the pressure's off now, I feel like, because like we've done what we've needed done, and then I'm just going to unleash, let the belt come loose, and then just see what happens and party over these next coming days.
Well, you know what? I don't want to stop you from partying. Congratulations once again, man. I'm going to be batting some of those stickers to put all over my big green. Anyways, back to you, Banks, in the studio.
Jason, if it's big and green, you might need to get it cut off, mate. That's a worrying sign ahead. But between the both of them, we got enough puns out of it, right? But it isn't just about Mr. Dick Stacey's stickers. I'm sure we're going to love having the dicks across our guns regardless.
Jesus
but it's
Christ.
more about Greyhound, right? Yeah. Actually making it here, having 2 Aussie teams go through, not having to go play in that playoff spot as well, and getting that just honourable part of having all the stickers in there.
Yeah, I think we can bury that meme for now. I think it's been used enough.
Okay, let me just say this. I've never heard the word dick being used this frequently in such a short span of time. This has been an interesting time.
Yeah, and it's over now. Let's focus on what's important.
Yeah, exactly.
ViCi Gaming going into this playoff between the other teams now. That's going to be interesting because I don't think any of the teams now. We have North, we have Windstrike, and we have either Envious or Furia going up against ViCi in that playoff. 2 of the teams will progress into the major as well. And if I am North, if I'm Windstrike, or if I am Envious or Furia for that matter, I would be afraid. What we saw from Windstrike today was super, super impressive. The Dust2 match right here, let's be honest, they should have won that one. After leading 11-4 on the CT side on Dust2, they should have won. Obviously, Greyhound were playing out of their mind on the second half, and ViCi maybe got a little bit scared of winning. You know, it is one of those tense, nervous situations where if you don't have the depth in your squad and if you don't have the experience to go up with the flow, then you're going to lose out, which we saw happen. But when you're coming into a situation where you're facing a North that is currently not looking at their best, Windstrike, who we did praise a lot during the CS Minor for playing well, but didn't really get it done, then I would by no means rule out ViCi Gaming. I think they have a decent chance of still qualifying for the major, and no matter what happens tomorrow at those playoff games, it's going to be close and it's going to be tense.
You got to remember as well, it's best of ones, right? You just need to win 2 best of rounds in a row, and you qualify. Of course, if you drop down the lower bracket, then it's going to be best of 3, so it's going to get harder. I agree with you. They have really, really surprised me. I think I've been the biggest critic of Asian CS, let's be honest. I've seen some pretty terrible stuff. And coming to this event, I was like, yeah, it's going to be the two Aussie teams who did qualify, but I expect them to qualify in a much more convincing fashion. But ViCi and even MVP for that matter, you know, really putting up a fight, making them sweat it out for it. And here's the thing, Grayhound, they pushed Renegade to the edge. And today, ViCi did that to them. Respect for that.
Respect is all that we need to end this with. Thank you very much, guys. The Asia Minor is done and dusted. Grayhound and Renegades are the teams that are going through to the major. But it's not over for ViCi. They'll be playing tomorrow against some of the other teams that have made it this far. But also coming up next is going to be the Americas Minor. We're going to have Envy versus Furia to face off for that final spot. Stick around and stick with us. We'll be back soon.